Alright guys, so today I want to discuss why overseas Jamaicans should reinvest in real estate property to use for Airbnb. So Jamaicans living in Canada, the USA, United Kingdom, and any other country that possess the financial means should seriously think about investing in the Jamaican real estate market. More importantly, they should invest in real estate for Airbnb in communities with high tourist traffic. We see too many Jamaicans living overseas right off Jamaica as a place that can make no money. You see me, them claim they can't make any money at Jamaica. However, you have Chinese and Indians coming here broke and becoming millionaires. Foreigners are now buying cheap land and real estate property and making a profit. Jamaicans with means both at home and abroad should be taking advantage of the fact that Jamaica is a tourist destination and buy real estate in tourist hotspot and use for Airbnb. Now, I don't know if you guys ever play chess personally or play any board games like checkers or so. You see, when you're in the game, it's hard to really see everything or take into account all the variables because you are so close to the thing you cannot see all the details. But when you're not playing and you're paying attention to someone else playing, it's like you can see clearer, you can see the moves clear, you can see both sides moves, you can tell what they're trying to do. That is how I see like Chinese and Indians and foreigners coming into Jamaica. They can look outside and see all the spots where Jamaica is underdeveloped in and realize that I can make a lot of money in real estate in Jamaica. The real estate market in Jamaica is young, it's ripe, it's practically a virgin. You have young Jamaicans now who are coming up, who are making money. They are paying the NHT and they are getting access to loans. Banks are now making it easy to access mortgage and all of that. So let's go in and buy up land and build real estate housing and all of that. But Jamaicans here seems to can't do it. Most of the big development that real estate development taking place in Jamaica is being done by foreigners. It's quite a shame. Now, for those who don't know what Airbnb is, if you are listening to this, Airbnb is an online marketplace that provides homeowners an opportunity to rent out their homes short term. Also allow travelers to rent houses cheap and short term in specific locations. Airbnb operates in almost every country around the world. They have a listing in about 100,000 cities and has hosted over 800 million guest arrivals since their inception, right? And they started operations, I think, in 2008. So how do you make money with Airbnb? So I go for the basics, right? So making money with Airbnb is pretty easy and straightforward, right? You basically just need to have a host. Once you have a host available, first thing you do is list your space for free on Airbnb. This means you can sign up and advertise your home to millions of travelers with no strings attached on Airbnb, no sign up charges or membership fees, right? So Airbnb already have a marketplace. Like Amazon, if you are a seller, you can sign up with the Amazon FBA program and list your products on Amazon. Basically do all the heavy lifting. You just make sure that you have the inventory to sell, right? So that's Airbnb. You sign up on their websites and people search your listings are there. They do some of the advertisement for you. So if someone is going to Jamaica and they put in their criteria, then if your home fits a certain criteria, it will list on the search results. Also, you can do your own advertisement. Right, so that is the first step. You list your space on Airbnb. Number 2, receiving a booking. Once someone sees a listing and likes it, they will book it. Airbnb charges each guest before arrival to ensure you will always get paid on time when you host, and you never have to handle the money directly. Again, this is one of the good things about Airbnb. So if you are someone, let's say you are someone overseas and you currently have a host, let's say in Kingston, Ocho Rios, Negril, Montego Bay. Right, you already have a house there, you already sent back your money years ago, you built that house and it's sitting there dormant, you're not rent it out or nothing, or it's probably being rented out, but you have to say, I don't want to deal with renting, I want to do something else. Airbnb is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You don't have to do any hard work, right? You just put it on Airbnb, you get a booking, and that's it. And Airbnb does all the heavy lifting. They're doing all the heavy lifting, right? Now, step 3, you get paid after check-in. So Airbnb typically release your money about 24 hours after the guest scheduled arrival to ensure check-in goes smoothly. So once the guest is already in your place and can't get no refund now because sometimes guests like to call for a refund. So I guess this is a way for Airbnb to ensure that just in case the guests come and say they them not want to stay, you can refund them and all of that. But once if they are checked in for 24 hours after that, boom, you get your money free and charged directly sent to your account. No strings attached. That is it. That is how easy it is to make money with Airbnb. Simple. Have a house available to accommodate. I guess is list it on Airbnb, start earning. You can also do your own advertisement. You have a core worker coming to Jamaican vacation. Let them know you have a place available for renters on Airbnb. Right? Enough for we are work. Enough for we know friends that come to Jamaica. Like not for work in America and in corporate America or anywhere. You have a friend who might suggest, hey, you want to go on vacation? I have a nice cheap way you can go to Jamaica and enjoy all the great spots cheaper than if you go to Sandals. I have a Airbnb place, you can stay there. We can hook you up with some Juta tours. You can just go there. You can just go to the beach, pay a price, and you can go all the dolphin coves independently of the hotels and all of that. That's it. No. Why should Jamaicans abroad invest in Jamaican real estate for Airbnb? And I'm going to give you a list of reasons, right? So if you are a Jamaican living in the diaspora, right? Canada, UK, wherever you're living as a Jamaican, and you find yourself with unproductive, disposable income, which means say, all right, you do well for yourself, you save up a nice amount of money over the years, you say you keep it for a rainy day because you don't know what a clock can strike, you don't know what to do with the money, right? Saving is not the best way to keep money. Sure, you should always keep some at least 3 to 6 months living expense for emergency. But beyond that, you don't need to keep a bunch of money in your savings account. You need to ensure that your money is working for you. So you have to say you have enough money, or let's say you have enough money to put on a down payment on a house and get a mortgage in Jamaica. Then, my suggestion is to buy real estate property in Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, and Negril. Now, why? First reason, earn extra income. If you should purchase a property in any of the communities mentioned, then your money would be working overtime for you, right? And that's what you want. You want your money to be working overtime for you. It would make money passively via appreciation of the property in the coming years and actively via Airbnb, right? What I mean by passively via appreciation. Alright, the Jamaican real estate market has seen tremendous appreciation over the years due to the number of young professionals and foreigners buying home on the island. So as Jamaican purchasing a home or making one on the island is an ideal investment because more Jamaicans are now looking for houses, right? That means it's a simple supply and demand thing, right? People are looking the house to buy, and there's not, so the demand is high and the supply is low. All right, and especially if you buy it in places like Ocho Rios, where these are some of the hot spots in Jamaica, it's gonna be a little more pricey, but the appreciation is also gonna be grow even more. Now the next reason why this is beneficial, you can employ family members. So if you're someone who's in America who sometimes supports their family member in Jamaica, right, and so by sending them money, here's a nice way to provide for them without you just giving them money every month, right? So if you have a family member in Jamaica seeking employment, then starting an Airbnb is the perfect opportunity to employ them. The good thing about Airbnb is that you don't have to be in Jamaica to manage it. The Airbnb website takes care of all the customer service and all the administrative work. All you have to do is manage the property to ensure it's clean and accommodating. This is where a family member or a friend comes in. You pay them to ensure the property is clean. After each guest checks out, you can check to see if the property is clean via Zoom or any other video call, right? So you pay them for ensure say after a guest come in and check out, them clean out the property, ensure say nothing is stolen, all that. They themselves won't even be doing any much work, right? And you could probably have them on standby to ensure say if a guest need anything or have any complaint, they call you and then you just send them to deal with that, right? They won't have to come to Jamaica to handle this, right? And you can check on the property to ensure say you make sure say you call in Zoom, tell them scan your place and ensure say everything is in place, and then you can pay them either via bank transfer or Western Union. Just like that, you have a business with very little operating costs or labor. The next way you can really help out in Jamaica is that you'll be contributing to the Jamaican development. So You don't have to come back to Jamaica. If you're in Jamaica, you say, oh, I don't want to come back to Jamaica, the crime and violence. You don't have to come back to Jamaica. But you can still contribute to Jamaica, be patriotic, as well as make money from being patriotic, right? Why is this contributing to Jamaican development? Well, overall, this would be a great way to contribute to Jamaica's development and economy. You will be directly infusing capital in the Jamaican economy, right? So you're taking money that was outside of Jamaica and putting it inside of Jamaica. That will, one, help circulation in Jamaica. So that's the first thing. You're adding to the GDP of Jamaica. You're adding to the growth, overall GDP growth of Jamaica, because you're adding on surplus capital that was not found within the Jamaican economy circulating before. So you buy a house, or you take out a mortgage, you allow the banks. If you do it via mortgage, you allow the banks with that. You have to pay tax on your house. You allow the government to collect tax. That's you contributing to the Jamaican economy, right? Secondly, you are providing employment for a family member. Again, this is allowing a constant circulation of capital, right? At the end of the day, our economy is all about consumption, and the circulation of money, right? So by providing employment and investing in real estate, you're providing a lot of cash flow to be circulated, right? And overall, you just expand the tourism sector, because now Jamaican tourism sector would become even more dynamic. Gone are the days when a lot of people wanted to come to Jamaica, and all you had to do, and if you didn't have a lot of money, you couldn't come, because you had to go through thing there. One of these big all-inclusive resorts like Sanders, $5,000 for your week and all of that. Very expensive, all-inclusive. But on the other hand, a person can come to your Airbnb, $60 a night, $100 a night. They're here for a week. That's what? If they're here for 5 days, that's $500 for 1 week. Way cheaper, extremely cheaper than a 5-star hotel or one of the Sanders resorts, all-inclusive resorts, right? So you're providing them a very cheaper service, a very cheaper way to explore Jamaica. Then they can spend the next $500 exploring the island, going from place to place, getting, so you're expanding the tourist sector and allowing it to become a lot more dynamic. So that's pretty much it. That's my, plea to Jamaicans overseas to, invest in the country and also reap the benefits and reward. Don't allow just foreigners to come in and buy vacation homes, because that's what's happening. Why don't you guys go there and take advantage of all that is there for Jamaicans? And instead of, I hate seeing Jamaicans complain about Chinese coming here. I'm like, we are doing the same thing the Chinese are doing. We are going to other people's countries. We are taking jobs that would have otherwise gone to an American, a Canadian, a British person, right? We are doing the same thing. So instead of complaining that the Chinese are taking our jobs and opportunities, why don't we seize them? Why don't we buy up our properties? Why don't we, ensure that our family and friends get jobs? That's the key for going forward and benefit from it. You don't have to come back to Jamaica. You can, and it would even be better if you decide to come back to Jamaica. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. Right? You can manage your Airbnb anywhere from around the world, because Airbnb, the company, take care of all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is ensure that the property is being managed, and you can employ a family member, a close friend, or relative to do that, right? And you can check up on your property via Skype, video call, Zoom, anything, and you can pay them via Western Union bank transfer. And like that, you have a business, a thriving business that is making you probably $1,000 a month, especially during the peak tourist years, right? And if your house has multiple rooms, then you can make way more money. So that's a thought. I'll see you guys in the next video, the next podcast. If you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're listening to this on a podcast, make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys. I love you. Goodbye.